Everyone in America now feels the rising cost of energy. The price of imported fossil fuels in particular looks worse every day. Climate change, political instability, and the increasing scarcity of gas and oil will only drive that price higher over time. In the state of Kansas, however, we're doing something about that. And on several different fronts, the prospects for an alternative future look better all the time.
Energy, as probably throughout the country in the last few years, has become a hot topic, and Kansas now is showing some leadership in a number of arenas in the energy area. We're right here in the High Plains, where we have an abundance of renewable fuels and renewable energy, such as wind, potentially solar down the road, biodiesel, ethanol, and such. The Kansas Corporation Commission was one of the first 80 institutions and organizations that signed on for the National Action Plan for Energy Efficiency. So we're leading a charge on that front also, probably highlighted by our very, very successful FCIP program that allows public institutions such as K-12 schools to retrofit their buildings, older buildings especially, with more modern energy efficient equipment, whether it's lighting, HVAC, or other types of insulation materials that help them cut their energy costs. In fact, the energy costs that they save is what pays for the financing of the program. And so in this day and age of tight budgets also, it allows them to make these improvements where many times before they were not able to. Energy efficiency is no doubt the least costly, the least risky, and the quickest way to meet our energy needs of the future.
Schools, municipal governments, universities, hospitals, and state agencies are all looking to energy improvements as a way to reduce costs. At a time when institutions throughout the state are struggling with fixed budgets and aging infrastructure, Kansas has devised a program that doesn't require upfront capital. It diverts utility savings to pay for energy improvements. During the past 5 years, the FCIP program has spurred energy efficiency improvements in 50% of all state-owned buildings in Kansas and is saving $20 million a year in energy costs.
As a business manager for a district, rarely are you the expert on construction, those sort of things. It's turned out to be a tremendous plus for me because I didn't have to go through that process, number one, by myself, and I didn't have to be the expert at it. It's a fantastic program. To get involved, to find a way to pay for larger projects, the scope of it. When I heard about this in Hayes over a year, about a year ago, I was so pleased to hear that there was something that we could do. This program is a way you can evaluate your district. You'll have an energy audit. You will know by the time the ESCO is through exactly where you can save and how you can save and what you can do about it. The program has given us the ability to get funding for that, has given us the ability to create the debt that will pay for the program and then a way for this program to pay for itself. Ultimately, this district had to have that, and I think many other districts are in the same boat. We can't go in and have $1 million or $2 million project or even a $500,000 project because we don't have new funds. So this program creates the way that we can do that. It has allowed us the ability to use our savings. They're contractual. We know what they are. We're guaranteed these savings, and it gives us a way to use that savings to pay for a capital project, a large capital project.
There's several benefits. First of all, we have decreased the amount of energy we're using, and we've improved on some of our equipment. That in our power plant, it was built in around 1923. We still have some original equipment in there. We replaced boilers that were 50 plus years old with this project, and several chillers that were in the 15 to 20 year, which is towards the end of their expected life. So you can imagine about the boilers that were 50 plus. So we're not only reducing the amount of gas and electricity we're using, we're also getting much better equipment. My opinion is we could not have gotten any of this done without the energy saving bonding. We could not have raised it. We do not have the money. The only way we could do it is through the savings, through the utility savings. There's no other way we could have accomplished this. Yeah, you're right. Many people may not ever notice. You know, this room has been relit. At first I thought it was a little different, but after a while I didn't notice anything. Forgot all about it. The bottom line definitely is going to be noticed. And that's the important aspect of all this, the bottom line. But the bottom line answers everything. That's the most important part of the entire project, is how we finish up on that bottom line. I think that holds the future for our university and other schools that are doing energy retrofits. It's something that you know, you really cannot comprehend what it will achieve.
There's a couple of stories that have come out of some of the earlier projects. And while, of course, we call it an energy performance contracting, but energy savings can also include water. And one of the earlier stories out of the Hutchinson Correctional Facility, which was a 100-plus-year-old facility, prison facility in Hutchinson, the water savings there as a result of our project was so dramatic that the city thought their water meters had quit working. And had to come out. They came out actually to try to replace them, but we had just cut down the usage of the water without any inconvenience and such from a process that had been working for 100 years that just wasn't up with times. Another project in a little different related field that, because of the flexibility of the program, was at the University of Kansas. They were able to complete a loop project around the campus that increased the reliability of the electricity supply that we didn't even think about at the time, but after it was completed, we realized that this allowed them to be eligible for a couple of $100 million in research projects that was dependent on a very reliable electricity source. So not only the project was needed and so forth, but it also opened the doors for many other opportunities.